So once you have opened up Inventor, making sure that you have the latest version installed, which is 2025, you're going to click on New, and you're going to see there's the Part drop-down menu, Assembly, Drawing, Presentation. So if you think of part and assembly, right? So think of a chair and how you have the leg of a chair, you have the backrest of the chair. All of those are parts. And when we put those together, we're gonna get an assembly. Drawing is essentially an orthographic multi-view of the thing we're creating. And this is usually generated using the part and the assembly files. For presentation, it just shows the thing we're making in action. So for us, we're just gonna click making sure we're in ENUS, click on standard.apt, and we're gonna click on create. So we're gonna change the dimensions that we make our shapes and our objects in millimeters. So to do that, we're gonna go to Tools, Document Settings, and we're gonna go to Units, and we're gonna change this length unit into millimeters. Press Apply, and then close. Go back to the Sketch tab, and we're gonna create a 2D sketch. So if you just click on this button, you're gonna see an option to create a 2D sketch or a 3D sketch. So click on 2D, and so to create a 3D object, we first need to create a 2D object, right? And then we're gonna apply 3D features to it. So right now we're in 3D mode. As you can see, we have all these different kinds of planes. And once we click on one of those planes, we're gonna be in 2D mode. So you can use any of these planes to make the same object, just based on the orientation you want it in. You might want to choose one plane over the other, but for our purposes today, we're going to be working with the XY plane. So click on that. And just as a side note for people who are using a mouse in Inventor, so essentially if you press down on the shift key and the center wheel of the mouse, if you press down on it simultaneously, and you can see that you're going to be able to rotate your object. And if you just press down on the center wheel, you can see that you can move it up and down, left and right. And for folks who don't have a mouse, so you're on the right side, you're going to see this full navigation wheel. Click on it, and you have all these various kinds of options that you can use to navigate about Inventor. So let's say you can orbit just by clicking on that. And let's say that I'm stuck in like a really weird orientation, and I want to go back to the orientation I was in previously. So you're gonna see a cube here that tells us which view we're in. So right now we're in between this right and bottom view, and that's not good. So we're gonna click on this home page, on this home icon, and this is like the default kind of orientation that Inventor always puts you in. So the top, front, and right, and we're gonna click on front, and we're gonna be back to where we started. So let's actually get started on sketching. So we're gonna click on rectangle, click on the origin, drag away, click again anywhere, and you're gonna see these purple lines appear. That just basically indicates that they need to be constrained. And the purpose of like constraining and fully dimensioning your object or your shape is essentially to indicate the precise size of a drawing, and which kind of ensures that when we transition into a 3D model, it's a much more smoother transition. So we're gonna go to the dimension tool, and we're gonna click on this side length. we're gonna click on this on the y-axis. So we're essentially constraining this side length with respect to the y-axis. We're gonna drag up and we're gonna put in 30 millimeters, press enter, and then we're gonna click on this top length, and with respect to the x-axis, this dimension will be 50 millimeters. So now that all of our lines are black, that essentially indicates that the object is fully constrained, and that's what we want. So we're going to press on escape to actually escape out of the feature we're using. So now that we have this done, we're going to click on finish sketch, and we're going to be back in our default orientation. So we're going to go to the 3D model feature, and so we're going to be using the revolve feature instead of the extrude feature. The difference between those two features is essentially that in extrude, all you need is essentially just a shape like this to extrude it out, like it is shown, like it is shown in this picture. And for revolve, you need an axis to be able to rotate the object about, so that you rotate it all the way until you get a 3D feature. And so yeah, we're gonna click on revolve, and you're gonna click on profile. So because we only have one profile, it was already selected by Inventor. And then for axis, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 options of the axis we can rotate it about. So you can, test it out. You can rotate about this axis, and you can get a circle this way. You can rotate it. Oops. Let me just show it again. And then you can rotate it about this axis, which is exactly what we're going to be doing. And you can get a circle that way, a lot of options. And we're going to press on OK.